Hi, if you're the individual this video was sent to, congratulations! You're about to embark on a journey in the wonderful realm of sales. Now, this training video is for an entry-level sales screener. The following video will give you the tools you will need to be successful in your new job. It'll also get your feet wet enough should you decide to pursue a career in sales or even become a closer in the future. My name is Brandon Morris. I'm the CEO and founding partner of both Datization and Pager Protection Shield. And now that you know who I am, I'd like to personally be the first to say, welcome to the team. Usually all of our training classes are conducted in-house in our Irvine location in California. However, the fact that you're watching this training video means you've been selected of the very few chosen to be a remote agent. You are special. Not everybody is equipped with the abilities necessary to work without supervision or learn without live training or be driven to success without a coach. We must have seen something in you that made you stand out and be that capable individual. I'm sure you're going to be great. Now, your instructor, or narrator I should say, is a woman named Jill. Jill is the general manager here. Many years ago, when we first opened, she started out as a screener as well. In fact, your success means so much to her that she insists on being made available to answer any questions you may have, so call her anytime. Also, I'd like to mention some key team members that you may need to know. Jennifer Morris, Chief Operations Officer and Partner. David Scarr, Chief Information Officer, Partner. Stephanie Estrada, Human Resources Manager. Adam Morton, Sales Manager. And Angel Lewis is our floor supervisor. I hope you learned a lot from this training, and we'll all be here should you have any questions or concerns. So again, welcome aboard. Let's get this training started.
Hi, this is Stephanie Estrada, the Human Resources Manager here at Patriot Protection Shield. I'm going to be going over what an independent contractor exactly is, as well as some differences between employees and independent contractors with you guys so you can fully understand your status here with us. So first off, what is an independent contractor? The general rule is that an individual is an independent contractor if the payer has the right to control or direct only the result of the work and not what will be done and how it will be done. The earnings of a person who is working as an independent contractor are subject to self-employment tax. If you are an independent contractor, you are self-employed. What this means is that us, the payer, have the right to control or direct the result of the work, meaning we have the right to make sure that you guys are getting your sales and hitting your numbers. However, we will not be able to tell you guys when you can work and when you can't work. That's going to be totally up to you. You're going to make up your own hours and follow your own schedule. Now, employees versus independent contractors. Employees have all work materials provided to them and they work in the office, whereas an independent contractor provides their own work materials and do not work in the office. Employees receive paychecks on their paydays. Independent contractors receive checks for invoice hours every other Friday. And I'm sorry, this is actually a mistake in the paperwork. It is not every other Friday. It's actually going to be the 15th and the last day of each month. Employees clock in and out of a time clock. Independent contractors invoices and send worked hours to accounting. Employees get paid for 2 10-minute breaks. Independent contractors do not get paid for any breaks. Employees' taxes are taken out of paychecks. Independent contractors, no taxes are taken out of checks. Employees have laws in place regarding termination, how long to receive a final check, and can file for unemployment. Independent contractors, the contract can be terminated at any time by both parties by any reason. Employees have a set schedule and need to call out to the general manager. Independent contractors work his or her own hours and have no set schedule. So basically the differences between employees and independent contractors is that there is a lot of laws in place for employees and to protect the employment of current employees. However, with independent contractors, I like to think of it as more like a wedding caterer. When you book a wedding caterer for your wedding, they're going to come and do that one event for you. Now, they are providing you a service, meaning that you would not expect this wedding caterer to come up to you, the person that booked them, and ask you to write them a verification of employment letter. They would also not ask you for benefits or PTO or any of the sort because they are just providing you a service. So that's the differences between employees and independent contractors. Now, we are going to go over some questions just to make sure that everybody does fully understand exactly the differences. So we have question number 1. Susie isn't feeling well and decides to work from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. only for the day rather than 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. how much would she get paid for the day? The answer is she would get paid for 1 hour. Now, you only get paid for the active time that you are on the phone. You don't get paid for any breaks, any restroom time, any time that you're just taking a break to go take a smoke. You don't get paid for any of that because you are an independent contractor. So Susie at this point would only get paid the 1 hour that she was ready and active to take calls. Question number 2. Anthony works 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. He takes 4 30-minute breaks, so 2 hours worth of breaks, and a lunch hour from 11:30 to 12:30. How much would he get paid for the day? Now, keep in mind that this lunch hour, 11:30 to 12:30, everybody has off and is unpaid for. So since Anthony only took 2 hours worth of breaks, that means that he would have been active and taking calls for 6 hours. So he would get paid out at $10.50 for the 6 hours that he worked. Question number 3. Gage decides to terminate the contract between Datasation and Gage. He sends accounting his logged hours for the week. When does Gage need to receive his check for his invoiced hours by? Now this one is a trick question, and the reason why is because typically an employee, when they do resign, they receive their paycheck within 3 days. That is the law. However, because you are an independent contractor and you're providing the service to us, you will need to send your invoiced hours to accounting, and at that point, the invoice would be paid. Now, moving on to question 4. Martin is having issues with his computer at home. He would like to come into the office to work while his computer gets fixed. Is this acceptable, and why? The answer is no, this is not acceptable, and the reason being is because once you do come into the office to work and you're clocking in and we are providing the materials for you, you have now crossed the line from independent contractor to employee. Unfortunately, this is something that cannot be allowed because then you will be an employee working with employee benefits and then going back to an independent contractor. Legally, that is not acceptable. Question number 5. Datasation terminates their contract with Lucy. They no longer need her services. She goes to the labor board and files for unemployment. Will she receive unemployment benefits? Why? The answer to this question is no. She would not receive unemployment benefits. The reason being is because she was not an employee with Datasation. Now, again, I do like to compare this to, say, a plumber. If you were to ask a plumber to come over to your house because your toilet was clogged and he works on it for about an hour and then leaves, and an hour later the toilet is clogged again, you most likely would not call that same plumber back. You would probably call another plumber to come and correct the work. Now, you would not expect the first plumber to be upset that you got a different plumber to come and correct the work. You also would not expect the first plumber to go to the labor board and file an unemployment claim against you simply because you no longer needed their service. We are now going to be going over the at-home payment guide. The hourly rate on the payment guide is $8 per hour. However, whatever hourly rate was discussed with you at the time of the interview, that is the hourly rate that you will be receiving. Clocking in and out of Whitel. Make sure to clock in Whitel. This is how you get paid. You will not be paid for any break time on Whitel. Hourly rate is based on active time in Whitel. If you are active on Whitel for 3 hours, go on pause for 2 hours, go on active again for an hour, you will only be paid for the 4 active hours on Whitel. This includes all breaks. Commission. Any deals in the period of your invoiced hours will be paid with that invoice. If you get 1 deal in 1 day, that's $10. If you get 2 deals in the same day, it bumps it up to $15 each. If you get 3 sales or more in the same day, it does bump it up to $20 each per deal. So if you were to get 5 deals in 1 day, it is $100 worth of commission that will be added onto your check. Invoices are paid the 15th and last day of each month. This is extremely important as many people do get confused with when to turn in their invoices. Accounting does require the invoices to be turned in by either email, fax, mail, or in person by the 13th and 28th or 2 days prior to the last day of the month. If it is not turned in by the required time, the invoice will not be paid until the following date. I do need the invoices turned in 2 days prior to the 15th and last day of each month. That way, it gives me time to go ahead and prepare the checks, mail them out 2 days prior to the 15th and last day of the month so that you receive your check by the 15th or the last day of the month. Now, please allow at least one business day after the 15th and last day of the month for you to receive the check, just in case the Postal Service does run a bit behind. On the next slide, you will see a sample invoice. This sample invoice is one that I created that is very simple and has all the basic necessities that you're going to need for your invoice. If you would like to create your own invoice, that is completely fine. However, we do need it to say your first and last name. It needs to say invoice, and it also needs to have your signature signed off on all of your hours. If you would like to use this copy, you can go ahead and print it out and just send this to me every time you need to send in your invoice. It's very simple. You just write down the date, the time in that you started taking calls. If you, for whatever reason, go on pause, write that on your time out, and so on for the rest of the day. Now, you will send this in to me on the 13th and 2 days prior to, and I will go ahead and make sure that the hours match up to the hours on my report from Whitel, and go ahead and pay you out on that. If you have any questions at all regarding exactly what an independent contractor is versus an employee, or just any questions regarding the invoice, please feel free to give me a call at any time or simply email me, and I would be more than happy to go over that with you. Now, Jill will be coming on to narrate the training video for you guys. Please feel free to give us a call afterwards if you have any questions or concerns. Enjoy!
In a nutshell, what we will be going over throughout this PowerPoint. Patriot Protection Shield integrity. What is a vehicle service agreement? Benefits of purchasing a vehicle service agreement. Vehicles that do not qualify. Main presentation script. Getting to know Whitel. Wrong number rebuttal. Rebuttals. Do not call list. What we expect from our screeners. Patriot Protection Shield integrity. Integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. Timeliness, nothing inspires confidence in a business person sooner than punctuality, nor is there any habit which sooner saps his reputation than that of being always behind time. Positivity, when you create and contribute to a positive work atmosphere, you feel better and are more productive. Productivity. Resiliency is key. At the end of the day, this is a numbers game. It takes time and persistence to develop good telephone skills. Commit to achieving a goal on a daily basis and see those goals through. What is a vehicle service agreement? Vehicle service agreements are designed to protect consumers against unexpected, costly repairs to their vehicle. A vehicle service agreement can be purchased by a consumer to cover the costs associated with vehicle repairs, including parts, labor, and/or sales tax, for certain repairs or replacements that may be required after a manufacturer's warranty expires. Benefits of purchasing a vehicle service agreement. A major benefit of a vehicle service agreement is the peace of mind they offer to customers looking for protection against unexpected repair costs to their vehicles. Your investment is protected. For many Americans, their car is their most important asset. It takes them to work, to pick up the groceries, and to drop off the kids at school. You want the peace of mind that if a large, unexpected repair need comes your way, it will likely be covered. The comfort in knowing that you won't be stuck with debilitating unexpected repair costs goes a long way for many vehicle owners. Reliability on the budget. Vehicle service agreements often allow consumers to make payments over time so that expensive car repairs can fit into their tight budgets. An initial payment is normally required to start coverage, and payment options vary, but consumers often can find an agreement with payments that fit their budget. Your vehicle may perform longer. The protection of a vehicle service agreement covers many different parts of a vehicle, depending on which type of agreement you have purchased, that may go beyond a manufacturer's warranty. Coverage of these vital components means they will receive the service they need to ensure a longer lifespan and more reliable performance. Your vehicle's value increases. Many vehicle service agreements will allow you to transfer ownership of the agreement along with the vehicle. If a buyer is interested in your car, having a vehicle service agreement can make it more attractive. Passing along peace of mind to another driver is one of the best ways to ensure sales success. Your payments are hassle-free. With a vehicle service agreement, there is no need to get buried in paperwork or submit a payment with hope of being reimbursed in a timely fashion. Payments for repair of your vehicle go straight to the repair facility, making repairs a stress-free transaction for you. Vehicles that do not qualify. Vehicles that have over 200,000 miles will not be eligible for the coverage. Screening the calls for the mileage is one of the most important things that we're looking for while speaking with the customer. Please always double check that you have the proper mileage and proper notes in the comment section before you transfer the call to the sales floor. If a vehicle is older than the age of 2004, unfortunately, they will not be eligible for the coverage. However, if a customer is ever not eligible for the coverage, always ask if there's another vehicle in their household that may benefit from a service policy. Leased vehicles will not qualify unless the owner plans on keeping the vehicle beyond the lease. So if a customer ever indicates to you that the vehicle is leased, ask the customer if they're going to be keeping it beyond the lease or if they're going to be trading the vehicle in when the lease is up. If the customer does indicate they will be keeping the vehicle beyond the lease, continue with your script. Aftermarket modifications will not be eligible for the coverage. The vehicle does have to be stock and original in order for the customer to be eligible for the coverage. For an example, if the vehicle was turned into a race car had an aftermarket lift kit installed, high-performance computer chips were installed, snowplow, or increased wheel size, none of these customers would be eligible for the coverage. Salvage title, also referred to as a branded title or a reconstructive title. A salvage title typically means at some point in the vehicle's history, the car has been claimed a total loss by an insurance company because of an accident or flood damage. If a customer ever indicates that their vehicle is a salvage title, let them know that they will not be eligible for the coverage. Pre-existing conditions. Pre-existing conditions are one of the number one reasons why we can't offer customers coverage. Their vehicle does have to be in good working order in order for them to be eligible for the coverage. If a customer ever indicates that they have a check engine light on, a severe leak, the car doesn't run, transmission issues, or electrical issues, let the customer know that they have to get these taken care of before we would be able to offer them coverage. Exotic cars will also not qualify. For an example, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Aston Martin. None of these vehicles would qualify for the coverage. Now we will be going over the script. The script is extremely important to read verbatim. The introduction is probably one of the most important parts of the script. Please always ask for the customer properly. Hello, may I please speak with Mrs. Smith? Hi, Mrs. Smith. My name is Jill. This is a follow-up courtesy call regarding the notice that was sent out about the expiration of the factory warranty on your 2010 Honda Civic. You are still the registered owner, correct? Great. If the customer indicates that they no longer own the vehicle, please read the following line. I do apologize, so I could properly update the file. What kind of vehicle are you currently driving? If the customer does give you their new vehicle information, please add it to the notes and continue with the script. And approximately how many miles are on the Honda now? FOAM means freak out at mileage. We want to put fear into the customer that they do have a lot of miles and that their vehicle is at risk for a breakdown. Your file is indicating that it is up for review. Please hold one moment while I get your Honda coverage specialist on the line. Thank you. Getting to know Ytel X5. Once you go to liberty.ytel.com, the Ytel interface will appear. You will see Agent and you will see Admin. You would select Agent. Agent Login. It will require your username and your password, which will be provided to you. Log into Time Clock. You are required to log into Time Clock first. Do you want to log into Time Clock now? Always select Yes, log into Time Clock now. The next step would be selecting a campaign. There will only be one campaign to select, which is the 1700. Once you are logged into Ytel, you will see your name appear in the top left-hand corner. When you're ready to start taking calls, you're going to select the active button where the arrow is pointing to. Your calls are going to start to generate, and it's going to be your responsibility to start reading your script. For an example, hello, may I please speak with Mrs. Stanley? Hi, Mrs. Stanley. My name is Jill. This is a follow-up courtesy call regarding the notice that was sent out about the expiration of the factory warranty on your 2013 Chevrolet Silverado. You are still the registered owner, correct? Great. How many miles are currently on the Chevrolet now? On the comment box below where the arrow is pointing to is where you're going to input your mileage. Every transfer has to have the mileage in that comment box. Other important notes that you would want to add to the comment box would be notes such as Mr. or Mrs. If I'm calling for Lily Stanley and a gentleman answers and says she is not available, it would be our responsibility to say, am I speaking with Mr. Stanley? If it is Mr. Stanley on the line, you are going to ask him if he could also make decisions on Lily's 2013 Chevrolet Silverado. If he indicates that he can make the decision, you're going to input Mr. in the notes section. That way, when you transfer the call to the sales representative, they know that they're not speaking with Lily Stanley, that they are speaking with Mr. Stanley. Once you have added all of your proper notes into the comment section below, you will go up to the top right-hand corner. You will see a green transfer button where the arrow is pointing to. You're going to select that green transfer button, and then another box will appear. There is a button that says Local Queue. You're going to select that button and your call will come directly over to our sales floor. Selecting the proper disposition. After every call, there is a disposition that will be required. I will go over each of the dispositions with you. Answering machine. If a call comes in and you reach an answering machine, we do not leave any type of voicemails. Hit the hang up button and disposition your call as an answering machine. Callback 30 days. If you ever have an interested client on the line but they do not have time to hear their options right now, you could schedule a call back for the customer and you're going to disposition the call back as a 30-day callback. At that point, you could email me the customer's phone number and the time that they want to call back Pacific Standard Time, and our supervisor here will give them a call back. Disconnected number. If you ever reach a number that is no longer in service, please disposition it as a disconnected number. Do not call. If a customer ever indicates that they do not want these phone calls or that they are registered on a national do not call list, please do not rebuttal them, do not argue with them, do not hang up on them. Simply let them know that you do apologize for the phone call and you will be sure to put them on the company's do not call list. Does not own vehicle. If you have read the rebuttal for no longer owning the vehicle and they do not want to give you their new vehicle information, simply let them know that you'll update the file, have a great day, and you're going to disposition the call as does not own vehicle. Already has coverage. If the customer does indicate that they already have the coverage, ask them when they purchased the coverage. Was that done when you bought the vehicle brand new, or was it done recently? If you know that the customer does have the extended coverage or they're still covered under their factory warranty, just properly update the phone call and disposition it as already has coverage. If the customer indicates that they are not interested, there is a rebuttal that would be required. Is there any particular reason why you wouldn't be interested in protecting your investment? Are you aware of how much the labor rates are currently at your dealership? This is to protect you against those unexpected repairs. Let me get you on the line with a coverage specialist to see what we can get you qualified for. That would be the rebuttal that you would need to use for that. If the customer still is not interested, simply update the file, disposition it as not interested. Call transferred. This is how we track your transfers. Anytime that you transfer a call, please make sure you always disposition it as call transferred. Business. It's very rare that we do reach businesses, but in the event that you do reach a business, just let the customer know that you'll properly update the file and disposition it as a business. Callback. If you call somebody and you haven't been able to completely pitch them and they want to call back later, just disposition it as a regular callback. Fax. If you ever reach a fax machine, just hit the hang up button, disposition it as a fax. Language barrier. If you reach somebody that does speak another language, just let them know that somebody will give them a call back at a later date that does speak their language. Wrong number. There is a wrong number rebuttal that we will get into shortly if you do reach a customer and they indicate that this is the wrong number. Pause dialing. When you need to take a break or go on pause for whatever reason, where this arrow is pointing to, you're going to select pause dialing on. Once you select that button, you can double select your disposition and it's automatically going to put you on pause. Pause codes. Once you go on pause, the system wants to know why you're on pause. Please select the proper reason code. Break, manual callback, lunch, meeting, restroom, spiff break, training, and verify. Remember that our office opens at 7 a.m., we close at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we take a 1-hour lunch from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Now getting into the rebuttals. The rebuttals will be very important throughout your phone call because a lot of customers do have objections. Now, the key to rebuttaling, anytime the customer objects, find the proper rebuttal to use and always follow it up with a question. Wrong number script. If you are calling for somebody and the customer indicates that you have reached a wrong number, please read this script. I apologize, sir or ma'am. My name is Jill and I'm calling from the National Service Center. What we do here is offer vehicle service policies to protect you against the high cost of car repairs. Since I have you on the phone, is there a vehicle in the household that may benefit from a service policy? If the customer says yes, ask what the year, make, and model of the vehicle they are driving. Also ask how many miles they currently have on the vehicle. In the comment section, type in wrong number, the new vehicle information, the mileage, and then ask the customer what their name is and add that to the notes and then transfer the call. How much is it going to cost? That is an excellent question, sir or ma'am. There are several program options available based on eligibility. Let me get you over to a coverage specialist and see what we can get you qualified for. What is covered? That's a great question. Let me get you over to the coverage specialist who will explain everything to you in detail, answer all your questions, and give you the price. Please hold while I transfer you. Remember, anytime that a customer asks questions like these, how much is it going to cost or what is it going to cover, those are buying questions. Customers wouldn't ask those questions if they weren't interested in the coverage. Are you calling from my dealership or is this Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Chrysler, GMC? If a customer ever asks this question, please don't ever indicate that we are affiliated with the dealership because we are not. The proper rebuttal would be, We are the national service center that handles the policies that are bought, sold, authorized, and accepted at Honda dealerships nationwide. These policies are meant to go back to any Honda dealership of your choice. Once again, the purpose of this phone call today is to give you a final opportunity to extend the coverage if your vehicle still qualifies. Now, approximately how many miles do you have on your vehicle? Who are you? Where are you calling from? We are the intake center that services the policies sold at Honda. Or, we are the intake center that services the policies for Honda vehicles. Giving the company name and number. If a customer asks for the name of the company, please use the rebuttal provided. It's the one that I went over in the last slide. Do not give the name of our company. Customers may complain. We have an A+ rating with the BBB and we would like to keep it that way. Our customers are given the name of our company once they become our customers. Do not give the company phone number. If a customer wants a callback, insist that you schedule a callback for them. We only place outbound calls here, so there is no way for the customer to call back in or for you to receive incoming calls. We also use local area codes in order to limit long distance charges for our customers. This is a brand new car. There are 5 different rebuttals for this is a brand new car. What's really nice about these rebuttals is they blend really well together. So you could use one or you could use multiple when rebuttaling this is a brand new car. Is there any particular reason why you decline the extended coverage when you purchase the vehicle? If they say no, ask how many miles they have on their vehicle. If they say yes, let them know that you'll properly update the file. The existing miles and months you have left on your factory coverage are calculated into the pricing of the extended policy. There are 2 times you could add the full coverage. It's offered on the day you buy the vehicle, and it looks like you decline the coverage. Then, depending on your mileage, as long as it's low enough, it is offered a second time, which is now. The higher your miles are, the level of coverage goes down, and the cost actually increases. That's why we're calling you, because it's still fairly new. We don't want to wait until it's older and outside of the factory coverage to add the protection plan. That's why it was offered on the day that you first buy the vehicle. Anytime you see back to script, follow it up with a question and try to get back to your script so you could finish it and transfer the call to a sales representative. I'm not interested. This is a common objection that a lot of customers will have, so I highly recommend mastering this rebuttal. Well, sir or ma'am, may I ask why you wouldn't be interested in protecting your investment? Are you aware of how much the labor rates are currently at the dealership? This is to protect you against those unexpected repairs. Let me transfer you to a coverage specialist and see what we can get you qualified for. Or, I understand, but your vehicle is outside of its original factory warranty. Instead of you paying out of pocket for the parts, labor, and the taxes, with your coverage, you would only be responsible for a small deductible. Manufactured warranties. This will be your cheat sheet. It's going to let you know what factory coverage comes with the customer's vehicles. So, for an example, Acura comes with 4 years or 50,000 miles of factory coverage. If anything happens to the customer's vehicle within this time frame, they will not be responsible to pay anything out of their pocket. The manufacturer will take care of this for them. The vehicle also comes with a powertrain of 6 years or 70,000 miles also, whichever occurs first. So there is a big difference between factory coverage and powertrain coverage. Factory coverage basically covers everything on the vehicle excluding wear and tear items. The powertrain coverage will only cover the internally lubricated parts of the vehicle, which is basically just their engine, transmission, and the drivetrain. All manufacturers offer different types of factory coverage as well as powertrain. For an example, Hyundai and Kia, they offer a 5-year, 60,000 mile on their factory warranty and a 10-year, 100,000 mile on the powertrain. However, in order for the customer to be able to use the 10-year and the 100,000-mile powertrain, they have to be the original owner of the vehicle. So if the customer is a second owner of the vehicle, they do not get the 10-year 100,000-mile on the powertrain. And keep in mind that only covers the internally lubricated parts of the vehicle. I have a lifetime warranty on my vehicle. This rebuttal only applies to a lifetime warranty that comes standard with the vehicle at the time of purchase. That's great, sir or ma'am. Unfortunately, that only covers the internally lubricated parts of the vehicle. We are calling about a better coverage that you may be eligible for. Or I have a 100,000-mile warranty already. Again, this rebuttal only applies to a 100,000-mile warranty that comes standard with the vehicle at the time of the purchase, a powertrain warranty. That's great. The only problem with that specific warranty is that it only covers the internally lubricated parts of the vehicle, which is basically just the engine and transmission. You are more likely to pay out of pocket for repairs if the air conditioning or the electrical system goes out. This slide will explain how all policies will run concurrent with each other. So for an example, if we're talking about a Honda vehicle, Honda offers their customers 3 years or 36,000 miles of the standard factory warranty. They also offer their customer 5 years or 60,000 miles on the powertrain. So the customer wouldn't get 8 years of coverage, they would get a total of 5 years of coverage. The same applies if a customer bought an extended warranty at the time of purchase. If the vehicle comes with 3 years and they bought a 5-year extended plan, it's the same concept. They're not going to get a total of 8 years. The first 3 years of their factory warranty will run concurrent with the first 3 years of their extended plan. So they would still get a total of just 5 years. I have an extended warranty. That's strange. Our records do not indicate that you have the extended coverage. When did you purchase that extended warranty? Did you buy it when you bought the vehicle brand new, or did you purchase it recently? If the customer recently purchased the coverage, I apologize, sir or ma'am. I will update the file. Have a great day. However, if they have a year or less of factory coverage or extended plan, let them know that they are up for reinstatement and get them connected with a senior coverage specialist. Can you send me something in the mail? It looks like we've already sent you out the notices in the mail to 12345 Main Street. So unfortunately, this is going to be the final opportunity if the vehicle still qualifies. Now, approximately how many miles do you have on your vehicle? Send it to me in writing. Rather than sending you something in the mail which can get lost or misplaced, what I could do is transfer you over to my supervisor who could fully explain all the options that are available to you and answer all your questions. Please hold for just one moment while I get you connected to them. I have gotten so many calls about this. Well, sir or ma'am, the reason why we've been trying to get a hold of you is so that you don't lose the opportunity to reinstate the coverage on your vehicle. I only deal with manufactured warranties. Well, sir or ma'am, these policies are meant to be used at any Honda dealership nationwide. I don't do business over the phone. That is completely understandable. Unfortunately, because you have yet to activate your coverage, this is a final notice to get the vehicle back under the best protection available. I never owned that vehicle. Where did you get my information from? I apologize, sir or ma'am. I don't work in the marketing department. However, if we have wrong information, I would be more than happy to correct it for you. Vehicles that do not qualify. Anytime a vehicle is not eligible for the coverage, this is the rebuttal that you want to use. Unfortunately, your vehicle doesn't qualify. By any chance, is there another vehicle in your household that may benefit from a service policy? Also, please don't delete any of the old information that's on the file. If you ever gather new information, put it in the comment box below. I don't plan on keeping the car. I'm looking to get rid of it. That's an even better reason to get a warranty. Many vehicle service agreements allow you to transfer the ownership of the agreement along with your vehicle, making the value of the car go up. A car with a vehicle service agreement is considered more attractive than one without one. I'm on a budget right now and I really can't afford to extend/purchase a warranty right now. That's more of a reason to look into a vehicle service agreement. They allow you to make payments over time so that expensive car repairs fit into your tight budget. There are quite a few different payment options available. Let's see if we could find a policy that fits into your budget. Can't afford. Our coverage specialists have several various ways that they can make the coverage affordable and budget friendly for every income. I understand at one point your vehicle was under coverage, meaning you didn't have to pay for parts, labor, and the taxes. You would only have a small deductible. Right now, you would be responsible for the whole amount out of your pocket. How much does the warranty cost/cover? Your coverage specialist will go over what it costs. I'm going to ask you a couple qualifying questions. Approximately how many miles do you have on your vehicle? Every coverage program is unique. Your service agreement cost is determined by the year, make, model, mileage, and the state that you reside in. It is very specific, and the senior coverage specialist will go over what it cost. What is this about? This is a final opportunity to purchase a vehicle service agreement on your vehicle. Hopefully we could help you get the extended coverage in order to protect you from any unexpected repairs. What is a vehicle service agreement? A vehicle service agreement is a mechanical breakdown protection. It protects you from any unexpected repair bills. I already have a mechanic/I am a mechanic. That's great. The policies that we offer can be used at any Honda dealership nationwide or any ASE certified mechanic. That's a good trade. Instead of you paying out of pocket for the parts and the taxes, you would only have a small deductible. My car's warranty expired a long time ago. We are a national coverage provider on all makes and models. Even though your warranty expired, we could possibly reinstate coverage today to keep you protected from any future repair bills. I didn't know my warranty expired. This is your opportunity to extend or reinstate mechanical breakdown protection on your primary registered vehicle. I'm not quite sure how many miles my vehicle has. Approximately how many miles do you think your vehicle currently has? If you had to take a guess, how many miles do you think you would have? You could also ask the customer the last time they had an oil change. They typically put a sticker in the window. It might trigger them to remember how many miles they have on their vehicle. Please don't ever guess the mileage for the customer. I have more than one vehicle. Which one are you calling about? If you own more than one vehicle, that is why it doesn't specify. What vehicle are you interested in getting a vehicle service agreement on today? Sold car, totaled car, doesn't owned vehicle. Okay, I do apologize. I'll go ahead and properly update the file for you. What kind of vehicle are you currently driving? I don't drive the vehicle too often. I don't need it. Vehicles that don't get driven that much tend to oxidize and have more problems. It's not something you think you need right now. That's why they're called unexpected repairs. It's kind of like health insurance. We don't think we're going to get sick next month, but if we do, we have insurance to protect us. We don't think our vehicles are going to break down next week, but if it does, we have peace of mind knowing we're not paying out of pocket for the parts, labor, and the taxes. With the coverage, we would only be responsible for a small deductible. Do not call list. What is the National Do Not Call Registry? The National Do Not Call Registry is a list of phone numbers from consumers who have indicated their preference to limit the telemarketing calls they receive. The registry is managed by the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's Consumer Protection Agency. It is enforced by the FTC, FCC, and state officials. Why was the National Do Not Call Registry created? The registry was created in 2003 to offer consumers a choice regarding telemarketing calls. What to do if the customer indicates that they are on a do not call list and they're upset about receiving the call. Apologize and let them know that you will update our records and that they will not receive another call from our company. What we expect from our screeners. On average, every screener will need to make 1 to 2 transfers for every 100 calls they take. Each screener will make about 400 to 500 calls per day. This means each screener should be making about 5 to 10 qualified transfers per day. 1 out of every 16 transfers should become a deal. Therefore, each screener should be closing at roughly a 6.25 closing rate. This will put you at about 10 deals each month. All new screeners are expected to get at least 1 deal their first week.